Hello and welcome back to the Road to Good Cooking, and today I'm going to be doing a little spring cleaning and getting ready to start my new seedlings. And there's nothing better than having everything all cleaned and ready to go. I washed my tray and all of my pots so they are good to go. My sweet potato slips are growing like crazy. I cannot wait to get them planted in my green stock when the weather warms up. And I added a little fish fertilizer to all of my slips to give them a little extra love. And you remember that purple potato I had for dinner a couple weeks ago? Well, I saved one and you ought to see it now. So sit back and relax and let's get started. Here I'm hanging up my grow lights, and I tell you what, my little seedlings love this grow light, and so do I. Now, this year I hung up some bug strips because I noticed that last year when I took my seedlings out to start hardening them up, every time I would bring them back in, I'd bring back these little bugs. And you remember last year this was my office/studio, and I had them little bugs flying all over the place. And I thought, nope, not this year. And this is my grow lab / dining room. And I have everything all set up and I'm getting ready to start filling up my little pots. And that fertilizer there, I'll be fertilizing my green stock later on this afternoon when I get done with this project. So let's get started on this project. Now this year I'm using the same potting soil that I used last year. I had it in a container that I had stored in my closet, and I took all the roots and everything out of it and got it all cleaned up. So this year I have to, I'm going to start by amending my soil, and I'm going to start with some perlite. And one thing I notice about buying all this stuff, it doesn't come in little tiny bags for small gardeners. It comes in great big huge bags, but that's okay because I bought this last year and I'm using it again this year. So, you know what, I didn't look at it as wasting money. And here I'm adding some bone meal. And all this stuff is going to be so good for my garden. I use the same batch last year, and my little garden just flourished. It loved everything that I did last year, so I must have did something right. And here is the worm casting. And see how big these bags are? And I've used this. I used it all last growing season, and I still had some left over. And yes, I have on gloves because, I don't like sticky stuff on my hands. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be one of these gardeners where I'm going to have gloves on because I don't like all that stuff all underneath my nails. And here's my biotone, and it is starter food for my seedlings. And plus all this stuff, when I put my hands in, it makes my hands itch. So I don't know. I'll figure it all out. But yeah, I'm going to keep my gloves on. And now I'm going to just mix everything together where it is well incorporated. And what you guys growing this year? I'm growing everything that I like to eat and cook with. There's a lot of stuff I could have grown in zone 9B, but a lot of that stuff I don't eat. I don't like radishes and I don't eat okra. So my thought is I'm not going to grow anything that I'm not going to eat, period. Gardening can be quite expensive, and there's no sense in me growing stuff that I don't use or I'm not going to eat. And I'm not going to grow it just to give it away. I'd rather grow stuff that I can use. And I'm just taking my time and mixing it all up because I have a little small container here. And then I'm going to add some water just to kind of dampen my soil, not to drown it, but just dampen it, because this is going in the bottom of my little pots here. And I tell you what, this is the most relaxing project that I do around my house, and that's messing around with my garden. It is so relaxing to me. I could sit out on my patio for hours on end just looking at everything and just, thanking God for the abundance that this little garden has provided me over the last 2 years. This is my second year, and my collard greens are the gifts that keep on giving. I'm using I think this is a 4-inch pot, and I only fill it up halfway. I don't like those little trays because I had a hard time getting my seedlings out of those little trays that I was using last year, so I'm not going to use those this year. And these pots work just fine, because I can put them in there and I don't have to worry about taking them out and up potting them, because they'll go right from here into my green stock. So I kind of skipped a step. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but it worked for me. And I had to mute the sound of the show that I'm watching because I love watching Law and Order on Saturdays. That's kind of like my binge watch day. So I just put it up and so I have something to keep me company while I'm working. And check out my little purple potato. It sprouted and gave me all kinds of little things going on here. So I've never planted a potato before, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. Everything I've read, it says that you plant the potatoes with the sprouts pointing up. And I'm not going to fill up my container until the sprout starts to grow, and then I'll add more soil as that happens. And I took some of the soil out of this pot because I'm going to be adding the romaine lettuce that I started on my countertop. And it's doing really good. And later on in the afternoon, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to add a few Pak Choi seeds to the pot because I thought that maybe the romaine lettuce would like a companion. Bad idea. And I'll tell you about what happened later on. And from here, I'm going to be adding the seeds to all my little pots. So sit back, relax, and watch me work. Alright, I got everything in. I just have to water everything in when I get it back in the grow room. And I've marked everything so I know what's in there. And this is the first time I'm growing purple potatoes, so wish me luck. And my romaine lettuce that I started last year did okay, but I'm going to try it again this year. And what I did last year, I got all my seeds and I put them in a little container like so I can find everything, because I was a little unorganized last year. So this year I'm learning from my mistakes that I made last year. So I got everything marked, and there's all the extra tags if I need them. You know what, shoot, I'm an old person, I can't remember from one thing to the other. So I mark everything just to be on the safe side. And here's my seed binder. What I did, when I poured all the seeds out, I had to keep the packages so I can, make sure that I can stay up on the information there. And I have everything in their own little page, all in alphabetical order. So if I want to plant something, I can go back and reference everything. And it tells me the time that it's supposed to be planted and all that stuff. I didn't have any good luck with calendula last year either, so I think I'm going to try it again this year. And there's the rest of my seeds. Everything is in alphabetical order. So let me get my plants back in the grow room, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody's nice and tucked in. And I think we are okay right now. I'm super excited. I can't wait to plant my sweet potatoes to see what I get. Alright, wish me luck. And there is no such thing as not having any space to grow anything. I got a little table here. Actually, it's a food rack. And then I have a piece of, this is a piece from my desk, because I had a return on my desk, and I don't have space for that now, so I just took the return off and I put that on top of my little shelf here, my little rack. And this is my grow room slash storage room. This is where I keep all the stuff that I cannot fit in my cabinets, which is a ton of stuff. And you remember I was moving to California? I had all my boxes packed up, ready to go. Got rid of my garage, so I just turned my second room into my storage. Decided to forego the garage. It's $80 a month that I could save myself. And so what? I gave up my studio. No big deal. But I still left room for me to grow some groceries. No excuses. Grow you something. Got it all fixed up. I'm praying really hard that God blesses me with a little place this year when my lease is up, because I don't want this to be my forever home. And I would like to have me a little place where I can have a garden out back and, just live my best life. You remember at the beginning of the video I told you that I sprinkled some Pak Choi seeds in with my romaine lettuce that I was growing? Well, evidently, Mr. Pak did not like sharing a room with Mr. Romaine, and he choked Mr. Romaine out. So Pak has the pot all by himself. I'm okay with that because I do like Pak Choi in my stir fries. I like to put it on my sandwiches. I like to put it in my salads. So if I have an abundance of Pak Choi, I'm okay with that. So now I know that Pak does not like to play well with others. And I won't put him with anybody else. But here's the deal. I started my seedlings on January 20th, and by January 24th, my Pak Choi, basil, and my purple potatoes had sprouted. And as of today, February 2nd, everything is growing like crazy, and I am so happy, and I cannot wait for the weather to warm up so I can get it all out in my green stock. And if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and spending a few minutes of your time with me. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That way it lets YouTube know that you enjoyed watching my content. And here are the pictures of all of my seedlings, and they are just growing like all crazy, and I'm absolutely loving it. And the light, they're under the grow light, so they're kind of washed out, but I assure you that they are vibrant green and they look so healthy, and they're very, very happy. And I cannot wait to get everything planted outside in my green stock. So wish me luck. Oh, and here is my purple potato. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is from one potato. One little potato. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? So I guess eventually I'm going to have to put it in a bigger pot because it's pretty much grown out of this pot. And here's my celery. And I started that from celery that I got from the grocery store, and it's doing quite well. And my collard greens, these are the gift that keeps on giving. I have clipped my collard greens 3 times. I'm going to let them fill out just a little bit more, and then I'm going to clip them again. And I like having greens in the freezer. That way I know that I'll have some delicious greens to enjoy all summer long. Thanks for stopping by. Be blessed, keep on cooking, and grow you some groceries.